Gregory Lewis Jr., aka G Funk, saxophone player, and I'm one of Mr. Cockrell's former students. And I would refer to him as Mr. Cockrell to the day that I died. It's just the way that I was raised. So,
a student where?
I was one of his students at King Summer Band, King Junior High School in East St. Louis. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you've known him since you were in junior high.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
That's why that respect. I understand.
Oh yeah.
Well, as your teacher, he is now your bandmate. How has that relationship evolved to the point?
Oh man, it's beautiful. Well, it's one of the most unique situations because I'm a band leader myself, and I have my own band. So to be able to work with Mr. Cockrell and his band is amazing on two fronts because, as we always talk, he gets a chance to see me as an evolved musician and to kind of see his work, what he has contributed to. And as a musician, a fully evolved musician, I get a chance to kind of kick back and hopefully, take some pressure off of him, make him proud, and just let him relax, and let him, because I know being a teacher is a hard job, very challenging job. So I think to see that the fruits of your labor pay off, I think is a beautiful thing.
Okay, you can go now. No, I mean, nice and succinct. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, something did come to mind though while you were talking. I'm just wondering, he plays saxophone too.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of people don't know that.
Exactly. What's it like? Knowing he plays sax. I mean, do you think he's listening to your skill level?
Oh, absolutely. He's as he should be. But it's no pressure. It's just working together and having that cohesiveness. The main thing that I try to really focus on, no pun intended, but the main thing that when I work with Mr. Cockrell, the main thing that I try to focus on, usually I come in the capacity as a guest artist, or when he does big shows. So I focus on really, really, really bringing his vision to life. That's my job. So I really try to lock into what his vision is, lock into the music, and as long as I'm doing that, it's going to flow. So I don't worry. I don't do a lot of analyzing. I just play, and that's what he wants me to do, and that's what he tells me. Hey, here's some music. Do your thing. He definitely is the type of person and band leader that wants you to be your authentic self. He pushes that, and that's not the case in all bands. Some people want you to fit into a box. He's the opposite. He wants to give you the blueprint and say, hey, go build a house.
I mean, I don't know what else. I don't have any other questions. Is there anything that you feel you would like to share, though, about his spirits, his East St. Louis, and how that might be part of who he is?
Absolutely. I think East St. Louis is a big part of who he is. And just from a relatability perspective, I consider myself blessed to, know him and to work with him and to, be friends with him because he has, and I think part of the respect factor goes along with the fact that he has walked my path before I walked my path. So he's a kid from East St. Louis, been in a band. He comes from a two-parent home. I come from a two-parent home. So we have a lot of, even back then, we had a lot of similarities and we had a lot of things in common. So he's an amazing person. He's an amazing teacher. He's an amazing father. He's an amazing husband. He's a pleasure to work with. And, it just, everything, no words cannot encapsulate, what this man is. He's a joy to work with. What you see with him is what you get. He's not one of those guys that, it's nice out on the surface and then behind the scenes, he's like, he's that type of guy. And it's really just refreshing to be around someone like that. And I consider myself blessed to have, known him and, be schooled by him. And, even now to be working with him, it's a blessing. So that's my guy, and I always got his back. He always got mine, but it'll always be Mr. Cockrell to the end of time. It's always respect. So.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Thank you.
He could bring people together, and I think that's one of his strong qualities.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very good at bringing people together on one accord. So when he invited me to play the concert, I was in Seventh Heaven, and then on top of it, he invited me to play on the albums, and I think I'm playing on maybe 2 or 3 of his albums. So just the history of two young guys from East St. Louis, and student, teacher, and to be able to document that through music is a beautiful thing. And I'm for certain honored and very happy that he invited me to come play with him. So that's something that I always cherish. Absolutely. Yes, and the 4 Gs, I think it was it 2 years ago? So 2 years ago, Mr. Cockrell called me with the idea, and I might be getting off track a little bit here, but as we were, talking about doing this and just thinking about the gravity of what we're doing, one of the things that I shared with him and Craig was that I think that it's just amazing that we're able to, in life, one of the most amazing things to me is to see someone fulfill their dreams. And I know he has a lot more to do on this earth, but from what I've seen him do in these few years, these last 10, 15 years, is really fulfilling his dreams, and that is inspiring to me as a musician, as a man. And also, to see this being documented and to see him put it on film, on tape for generations to come is amazing, which leads me to 4 Gs. So he called me with this idea, and he was like, hey, got this idea. So Mr. Nicholson was Mr. Cockrell's band director. Then there was Mr. Cockrell. He was a student. He was my band director. Then I failed to mention that he also taught my son. So my 25-year-old son. So one of my son's classmates, a gentleman by the name of Carlos Brown, he actually did the tune with us. So you've pretty much got 4 generations of musicians from East St. Louis, and we did a song called 4 Gs, and it was amazing. We performed it, recorded it, and it was awesome. And I was very, very happy. I'm happy to be a part of all of his music, but that one is always going to be special to me. And I know to those guys as well, to Mr. Cockrell, Mr. Nick, and Carlos. So that was big. That was very big.
Was your son?
My son was not on the record. He's no longer playing.
Okay.
But one of his classmates, a guy that went to school, so he was the 4th generation.
Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
yes,
God. That's history.
It was dope. That's all I can say. It was off the chain.
You got that. You got that. I think I remember you telling me, but I lost track of all of the many, many details we have gotten about him. And everybody has wonderful things to say. Craig and I just both sit back and go, oh, how amazing.
It's all from the heart. It's all from the heart. It's not, I mean, it's easy when you just, you're telling the truth. So it's easy.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I'll see you
in August.
August too. Okay. Excellent.
Thank you, Craig.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you, sir.
And you're on your way to your next appointment.